Welcome to another Dice Tower Daily Chat. What's going on, everybody? Today, I'm your host, Roy Candy, and with me today is Mike Parkinson. What's going on?
How are you, Roy?
Doing awesome. So, Mike used to do a bunch of stuff on Board Game Breakfast forever ago, and he helps us a ton at conventions as well. So I wanted to have Mike on the show, and I wanted to use the Mike Dice guy that's over there. So I was like, hey, I should have Mike on.
There you go. Well, I appreciate it because I'm glad to be on. I haven't been done a whole lot with the Dice Tower on the Board Game Breakfast. I've taken a little break. We're getting ready to move. There's a lot going on in my life right now. But, hey, this is a great break for me, especially with everything going on around me. So I appreciate it, and I'm hoping that people who are watching remember me a little, maybe from some of the weird stuff I did, because it's only going to get weird if I ever come back.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Mike always did a ton of, retheming of games. Like, you took tons of board games and rethemed them as all sorts of different themes. Mostly Simpsons, but all sorts of different themes. And did, giant Ticket to Ride magnetic boards and all sorts of crazy stuff. But, yeah, I miss a lot of those old videos. They were pretty fun.
Yeah, I had a good time doing them. The big thing about doing those kind of videos is the fact that not only are you recreating a game with artwork or whatever, but you're also doing a video on it as well, and it's a lot of work. It's more than just a review of a game. It's more like, okay, let's create the game, then talk about what you did. I had a good time doing it for sure, but it does definitely take a lot of time. Sometimes a lot of resources, like the Ticket to Ride, where I used the Thomas Tank Engine miniatures. That was kind of expensive because those miniatures, I had probably, whatever the number of trains are in the game, 45 times 6 people. That's a lot of miniatures to go out and buy, that's for sure. But yeah, I had a good time doing it, and I probably will continue doing that eventually, one of these days.
Well, I was always like, hey, Mike, you should come up with something that isn't as labor intensive, so we can still see you on Board Game Breakfast some days.
Well, once I get settled, because like I said, I'm kind of getting ready. We just sold the house here. We got to be out of here in 1 hour, so let's try to hurry this up, okay? But once we get out of here, we're going to probably be heading to Idaho, and I'm hoping that when I get settled, slower pace of life, I can start doing this stuff again. That's kind of my goal.
Nice. Well, everybody, make sure to leave some questions for us down below, so me and Mike can answer all sorts of different questions. We're just going to have a positive chat here, hanging out with everybody. If people don't know, Mike is the fidget spinner master, who's come up with all sorts of crazy fidget spinner things, and he always entertains us at conventions with all his crazy fidget spinners.
I have had a good time with my fidget spinners, I admit it, and I know it's kind of a fad, but I'm one of those people who don't let the fad go out too soon. So fidget spinners are here to stay for longer, and I've been doing a little fun stuff. I've been trying to figure out how to get one fidget spinner will help you focus a little bit, but you put 8 on a little thing like this, and talk about absolute focus right there. You kind of keep those things watching. I do have a little trouble with my dexterity because I'm getting older, but for the most part, so that's the 8. And then I have the 10 here, things like that. You put that on a little banana hook, and there you go. I'm having fun with it.
I'm sure when everybody tuned in this chat, they were like, this is going to be some fidget spinner action up in here.
I know fidget spinners are love or hate. There's not many people in the middle like that, but if they oh, those are so dumb. But that's because they're jealous because they aren't focusing as much as the people who like them. That's a great you take this this is a first player token right here. That's how I look at it. And then just to take this one step further, Roy, if you just indulge with me for a minute here, I've also come up with this. How about this? You now have jewelry with fidget spinners on it. And, these are superheroes. This is Spider-Man and, Captain America. Oh. And then if you really want to get people's attention, you can go with this. Go with the ones that light up. Because then people are like, what the heck? And it's just on your finger, Hey, tell me who looks cool in this shot.
I'm not quite sure.
And then finally, this is the big thing I've been working on, and you might see me at the convention with my hat on. You got it right here on the hat. You don't have to worry about it. It's just right there. People are going to like this. This is a big deal.
How much does the fidget spinner hat help your focus?
Well, it depends. If I'm like when I'm driving and that thing's going right there, I have a tendency to watch it a little more than the road, so I shouldn't do it while I'm driving. But when I'm at work, I'm pretty good at focusing at work, and people are watching me, so they're not getting much work done, but that's up to them. I don't know. I'm having fun with it. Who knows what will happen with these things? The lights are really something, especially at night.
Also, chat. Guess how many fidget spinners are on the giant fidget spinner thing behind Mike, and the closest. I mean, you don't actually win anything, but the closest, you can say you were the closest.
That's right. This is my masterpiece.
My favorite thing is Mike Delisio said.
I can sit and watch this for hours.
My favorite thing is Mike Delisio asked you once, he's like, do you ever like stop at the like idea phase on any of your stuff, or just always just do it?
An idea is only as good as the finished product. So yeah, I can stop at the idea phase, but how good is that idea going to be? You actually look at it. I like what I've done with these. They're fun. Some people roll their eyes, and I'm like, okay, yeah, they're wishing they were me, obviously.
I feel like it fits your personality very well, which is hilarious. Well, we have tons of questions here, Mike, so I guess we should get started on some of these.
You go right ahead.
Halo 30 asks, what was the hardest game for you to retheme?
I think the hardest one, now when you talk about hardest, thinking things through, because obviously there are some games that I really wanted to retheme, especially with using my favorite Simpsons theme. But I just couldn't make it work. And so the hardest ones are always the one with the cards, because you have to actually redo the artwork on the cards, and it has to kind of fit the entire theme. But as far as the most labor intensive was probably the Ticket to Ride 6-foot table one, because for every one of those, if you ever look at the Ticket to Ride board, every one of those had to be drilled and had to have a screw put in, because the screw fit on the back of these little this little thing, and it fit on it perfectly, but it had to have one every one of those spots. That took me a long time to do, but it was worth it when it was done, of course, because it was on the wall and looked fabulous. So that's what I would be.
That's awesome. Do you use like a graphic design program to like make the cards and stuff for your things? Like, what do you use?
So one of my episodes actually showed, there's this, I can't remember the name of it, it's been so long, but there's a card program that I found, and you actually do a little programming. So I'm an IT person. I do some of this coding in the background anyway, so I'm kind of used to this kind of stuff. But you would actually reference things. Go get that image, put it here, and then you just put coordinates in. And some people might be a little intimidated by that. But the easiest thing to do is I would make some kind of a template. The template's the easiest way to go, because then you just stick your graphic in there and bam, just print it out and you're done. Because the graphics lays behind the template, so it's pretty clean looking. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Like even Microsoft Word, but I do use GIMP. That's my go-to graphics program is GIMP.
Yeah, GIMP's what I always started on back in the day when I started making like MySpace profiles. That's how long ago it was.
MySpace, I remember. I'm still using that. It's a pretty good program.
Yeah. What's your current song on MySpace? Like when someone clicks on your profile, what's your song that pops up?
Oh, probably the Simpsons theme. I have that as a kind of a go-to. And then there's a good one. I know it's kind of funny, but I really like the regular show. It's an old cartoon, but I really found a lot of fun in that as well. So, but mostly the Simpsons, yeah.
Ah, crazy. Let's see what other questions we have here. Mike Parkinson, apparently in the old days, he was a contributor. And now he helps with Dice Tower West. Or he helped with Dice Tower West.
Yes, and I still do that. I still contribute by going to conventions and helping the Dice Tower crew. And I'm very proud to be able to do that because they're a great crew to work with. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't be doing this. But I like them a lot. It's great to be able to go to convention and just, work. I'm there to have fun, but I'm here to, connect with people and just have a great time. But you're right. I did used to contribute more videos, and I haven't done that in a little over a year now. Like I said, I'm getting ready to move, so there's a lot of transition. We had to sell the house to get my kids to move out. So now that they're out of the house, we've sold the house. We're going to move away from them, and they can come visit whenever they want.
I heard you just help out the Dice Tower conventions to steal banners out of the trash, like the one behind you.
There's a lot of fringe benefits with working with the Dice Tower, I admit. This was one of them. I mean, they were going to throw this away. And I'm like, what? Background, instant, right there. So I cut it off the little thing because Tom said, no, it's broken. So I took it home with me, and now I have this to use whenever I do videos or this. I can just throw it up there, and next thing you know, background's already made.
It would be awesome to take that to one of our conventions and put it back up. Just somewhere, and don't tell Tom. Actually. See what happens if Tom walks by. He'd just be like, "What is that?"
Yeah, he probably would, because I think I took this about 4 years ago or so. I can't remember. It was a while ago, and now it doesn't have any of the dice meeples on it, so it's like, oh well.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was pre-dice guys, right? It was before that.
Yeah. It was. It
still has the Chuck dice guy on it, right? His name was Chuck, right?
Yep, that's right. Yep, the good old days, but that's okay. One man's treasure is another man's trash. Oh, wait. Reverse that.
David asks, Roy, if my wife and I come to a Dice Tower event, will you teach us Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea? I teach that game a lot at cons, and I actually really enjoy teaching it, and I really enjoy playing it with people. But yeah, as long as schedules line up, or we make sure to make a time for it to happen. So many times there's a lot of people that really want to play, and it's always like some people I can line schedules up with, and other people I just barely miss them, and it always makes me sad when it's like, oh, I wanted to play, but I never got to do it. But it's like, I'll play. I've played the game multiple times at conventions before, and still am not able to get together to play with everybody. But hopefully, if you come to one, we should be able to line something up and make it happen.
That's pretty cool. And honestly, Roy, I've never actually played the game yet because I don't own it. Now, a friend of mine, Michael Culberson, has boxes of these on, taking up one shelf, I think, because he has he's a completionist, I think, when it comes to that.
All mine are.
So what he says, maybe he'll teach me the game, but you could also teach me. I just haven't played it myself yet. I heard it's a pretty good game, though.
Yeah, and it looks like it's more intimidating than it actually is. If somebody knows the rules well, it's not that hard to teach. And once you get into it, it's pretty easy to get through. But it's just understanding the game and the rules to make it happen, But yeah, I love playing games with all sorts of different people, especially people that are excited about the Dice Tower. It's always a blast.
Well, sure, absolutely. That's cool.
Gator Dave asks, Mike, did you cull any games in the move? Or cull any games for the move?
Wait, did I... What? Say it again?
Did you get rid of any of your games for you to move?
Oh, okay. So, first of all, anything that I make over, I keep. They're like my artwork, my trophies, whatever. But yes, it is kind of funny because all of my good games are packed up in boxes in the garage. All the games that I had to make a tough decision on or an easy decision on, depending on the game, is in my gaming out there. So I have 4 weeks to get rid of it. But what's funny is people come in and look at my collection and go, "Oh, wow, this is your collection, huh? Maybe they should go to the local board game shop instead." But there's a lot. I probably have to get rid of about 50 games or so that are just marginal to. I never really will play it. Probably just don't have time.
Well, I'm glad to see that you kept Monopoly, so that's good.
Simpsons Monopoly. Thank you.
Oh well, that clears everything up.
I just played that my daughter
Kabuki
the other
Kid
day.
says,
It's actually a pretty fun game.
Kabuki Kid says, I've never even touched a fidget spinner.
Oh my goodness. Okay. How about if he comes, next time I come to convention, I should bring some of these with me. This is just my, my to get through the day type thing. I should just give some out to people and go, oh, here you go. I can't believe he hasn't touched one. He doesn't know what life is like. I mean, living life at its fullest is touching this fidget spinner right there.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Christy says, I played a game with Mike at Dice Tower West and had no clue who he was. He's a fun guy to play with.
Oh. Well, thank you. I wonder what game that was, though, because I'm trying to remember. Dice Tower West was one of my favorite conventions, of course. It was close to us. Dice Tower East would be one of my favorite ones if we had it. But let's see. Yeah, I can't think of which game it would have been. By the way, anytime I play with people I don't know, it's always a treat because you have no idea what kind of personality they have, and you start getting to know them through the game itself. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty fun. Just another way to get to know people instead of just talking. You're like actually playing and seeing how they work.
Mike Parkinson rocks, is what Michael says.
Michael,
I'm not
what
sure
he say?
Exactly what he means by that. He says Mike Parkinson rocks.
Oh God! Oh, is that Culbertson guy? He's my gaming buddy, and I used to think I had a really cool collection until he got into it, and within a year he made me look like Monopoly. I mean, it's amazing what he's got. He's a Star Wars buff though. Yeah, Star Wars.
Chrissy says, is it just me, or does Roy look like he's in a closet? Help! Let me out! I'm in a closet. You're not wrong.
You are kind of working from home a little bit now, so...
Yeah, I made myself a little office, and by little, I mean extremely little office, but it was a little bit easier for me to have a little space to get away from the family to edit if I'm in this closet. So, yes,
well, you got
I'm in a closet.
Kids, right?
But I'm making it happen. Yes.
But
yeah, and they do school kids? During the daytime.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep.
Okay, we've got some guesses here. Gator Dave says 47 fidget spinners. David says 92 fidget spinners. Earth Flat says not enough is the right answer.
That's the right answer.
Tracy says 120 fidget spinners.
Ooh.
Who's the closest?
The closest. What was the one before 120?
92.
92. That's probably the closest so far. You let me know when you want me to just spoil the whole thing and give you the number.
Nice.
I'll give you one hint. It's over 100.
Really? Wow. Nick says that 80s throwing stars were their fidget spinners. Let's see. What is your favorite game mechanism, and what is your favorite game?
Okay. So this is where things there's like a deviation, because a favorite game, I really like some games. I mean, like Zaya, I like that game a lot. I have trouble focusing on large, long games. That's probably my favorite long game. I think you like it too, Roy, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you. But honestly, my favorite are usually ones that people will play with me. So my family, we really like Azul because they're pretty within an hour, and my 15-year-old daughter plays it. My wife loves it, and I don't usually win, but I have a good time playing it and just giving them the gears. But for the most part, my favorite mechanism, I I used to know the answer to this, but I can't remember which is my favorite mechanism. I kind of like dice, but dice don't like me that much, so I can't really go that route. I like drafting is kind of fun because it kind of evens the playing field a little bit. So it just depends on what game it is. I used to hate Space, but now I like
Why?
it because my friend David and Kim, who are at Dice Tower Con with me, got played again, and some of my Seattle friends here, and it's like, oh, I actually like this game. Why did I say I didn't like it? Because I had to give it a second chance. So I don't know. Those are fun. What's your favorite, Roy?
As far as mechanisms go, I don't know if it's categorized properly as a mechanism, but it's basically like whenever there's like some sort of resource management that allows you to buy really cool things to do stuff with, whether it be like units, to be able to build like an army, or to be able to like buy cards like in Arkham Heart LCG. I don't know. I just really like resource management where you can do stuff to generate resources and then use those resources to build things that help you for the rest of the game. I really enjoy that. And my favorite game is Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, which relies heavily on that sort of thing for the whole 4X gathering resources, upgrading your civilization sort of thing.
Okay. So do you like the Marvel deck builder, or what's it called, Champions?
I do. It doesn't really have the same sort of resource management because it's really just like discard a bunch of cards. But when I play that game, my favorite thing is card draw and getting as many cards in your hand as possible so you can play more cards. So in a way, my favorite mechanisms is that kind of portray that as well because I'm like, I can draw more cards so I can play more cards, you know.
Okay. And thank you for helping me remember. But my favorite mechanism, I love dice placement, and as a resource. So you place the dice, and it'd be I can never remember the name of it. That game. Then I can't remember. I like that one a lot. Whenever you have dice, you roll the dice and mix them on places.
I really like Alien Frontiers. Have you played that one?
I have that one. I have played it. It's pretty good. Not my favorite of all of them, but I definitely like that one a lot. Yes.
Kingsburg?
That's the one. Man, you are good, Roy. It must be nice to be young and get those things in your mind fast, because Kingsburg is one of my favorite games because of the way it works with the dice like that. I never really win the game, but I still have such a good time. It's just the rolling thing. So,
Earth Flat asks, Mike, is Roy in your MySpace top 8?
Probably. It's funny because I use MySpace a lot as a joke with people because obviously it's not around anymore, but they're like using Facebook or Instagram or whatever all the latest stuff is. You know, my kids are using. I always tell them, well, MySpace, you know, give me a ring on MySpace, you know, whatever. So, but yeah, Roy, you would be in my top 8? Was that what you said? Sure.
It's so funny how contentious the top 8 was back in the day. It's like, if you were friends with someone, like close friends, and you weren't in their top 8, it's like, are we really that close? You know?
That's like, I was also going through, I kind of go through the seasons of like The Simpsons, and I also go through the seasons like The Office, and I also go through the seasons of Seinfeld, and they have like one about the phone, like the dial, you know, oh, you're on speed dial number 1 through 9 or whatever. Same type of thing, but for the older people like me.
Who would be on your MySpace top 8? And I know one of the slots is The Simpsons, like, fan page or whatever, but... So, your top 7.
Oh my goodness. That's a tough one because...
you have to do significant other.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's without saying. Thank you for helping me with that, because if I forgot she watches this, I'm in trouble.
I didn't want to get you in trouble.
You know, yeah, so that type of thing. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that. Maybe one of the games I play on my phone would be up there. You know, my daughter and I love playing. I forget the name of it, but we play these games through text messages. You know, like pool, eight ball, and all this stuff. Things like that's kind of fun. But Simpsons, definitely. The Office, I love that one. There's more. I can't think of them. That takes a lot of thinking. Top 8, that's a tough one, but thank you.
I should like go on Photoshop and graphic design a little top 8 thing up and see if I can get more people to do it. Be like, share your top 8. It'll probably make a lot of people mad. Be like, so why am I not on your top 8?
Roy, you'd be on my top 8 for sure. That's just, I was going to say that, but now that I think of it, there you go.
But since MySpace is dead, we'll never know. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think Napster would be on my top 8 too.
Do you have a bucket list of games that you want to retheme, and which ones are like the top of the list?
Oh, it's funny because I will keep a game, no matter how good or bad it is, knowing that I want to retheme it. That's the only reason I might keep a game. And a bucket list is more like, okay, I have to go through my games and go, why do you keep, I have friends ask me, why are you keeping this game? I go, because I can retheme it and it'd probably be a better game, possibly. But I don't really have like a actual list of it. The one I really wanted to do would have really helped made Sam Healy come after me, which is the Blood Rage one. That takes a little more time because the cards, that would have been the most fun to do. So that's always on. I'm going to keep Blood Rage just because I want to. Well, it's a good game also. But just because I want to retheme that with The Simpsons one of these days.
Could you retheme Zaya to Simpsons?
Oh,
it'd be like
man.
Bart running around delivering papers or something? I don't know.
No, that's a good question because Zaya's a good game. And one of the biggest issues whenever I would retheme a game or do something to a game, people get offended because it's like you took a good game and made it bad, in their opinion. And I'm like, well, I took a good game and made it better, but it's all about opinions. And for
it's
the most
all
part,
about fun. Come on.
It is. But there are some purists out there who really don't think you should touch the board game. Like, for example, here's a good example. Azul. I love Azul. The first one. Well, I took Azul and I took Scrabble letters and for the same colors and made it into a game where not only do you play Azul, but you also have to spell things to get more points. And some people thought, no, that adds too much complexity. And I'm thinking, Azul's not very complex as it is. And if you think it's adding complexity, that's fine. But I kind of like the idea of doing that because now you're adding a whole new dimension to the game of trying to spell words and get more points. But, it's some people don't like it. Some people do.
Josh says, hey, Mike, where'd it go? It disappeared. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Mike, do you have any new board game remakes that you've done? Would you ever do an anime remake like One Piece or Naruto?
Okay. First of all, I'm old, so I have never heard of those ones. Sorry. But honestly, I don't know. I definitely want to get back into it and do, because I have a lot of, it's very difficult for me not to think of that whenever I play a game and think of, well, this could be better if, So in anime, someone asked me to change an anime in a board game. I think it was a Tragedy Looper. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was just going to be taking up so much time. Really, a lot of it has to do with the time. And not only are you retheming a game, but are you actually going to play it as a retheme, or are you just doing it for the video or whatever? And I want to make sure that any game I do, I'll actually want to replay it. My favorite one, of course, is Simpsons Carcassonne, because not only you get rid of the old theme of the Carcassonne, and now you have the Simpsons with bacon donuts instead of castles, things like that. That was one of my favorite ones for sure.
Josh, you should hit me up on Facebook because last weekend I made like a little Naruto card game. And of course, making a game with an IP is insane. But you should hit me up and I'll send it to you to blind playtest or something.
There you
go. Who throws banners away anyway?
People. Well, you have to, with Dice Tower, they're always moving forward and progressing. And, these are the old banners. They only have so much room and space inside of a booth. So they have, they went into the meeples, the dice meeples. So that's kind of where I can see where they did. This one had a rip in the top or something. It wasn't working, and it was like, just throw it away. Yeah. Good question, but they throw them away for people like me to pick them up and use them.
Mike, are you? Do you play any instruments?
Oh, do I play any instruments?
Yes.
Well, okay. I grew up playing the trumpet. I like that. And then I took some piano lessons about 15 years ago, and that was pretty fun. I did harmonica a couple of years ago, so I did a lot of that. I have a banjo out there, which I want to learn how to play, and I just got to watch a YouTube video and figure it out. So I love music. I love instruments. I just have to take the time to actually learn how to play it, and it takes time and quality to play an instrument. But yeah, music is awesome as far as I'm concerned.
Your friend Michael says Mike needs to teach me Zaya before he moves. I'm
That's
holding
true.
to it.
We were going to do this, but he wasn't able to. I mean, or something. Maybe I couldn't do it, but we had this all planned out to do it, and I can totally teach it. I played it about 10 times now, and I am, FYI, I'm one of the worst game board teachers out there. But once I play game enough, I think I can get through it. So as far as teaching it.
Yeah, there's definitely an art to teaching board games, and the more you play, the more you can figure out how to navigate those waters,
Yeah, I think there's an art to teaching the game, and Roy, you'll know this, there's an art to reading the game too, so that people can relate to it. And I am not any of that realm. I just have so much respect for people like you who can actually sit down, explain the game, and review it, and then give an opinion. Anyone can give the opinion, but how many can talk about the game and be specific to what they don't like about things and make it make sense? So,
who is your favorite comedian?
Ooh. Wow.
Mike's gonna say myself. I'm the funniest guy there is.
Myself. Thank you for helping me with that one. But no, I like. There's a lot of. I mean, I'm probably more old school. So when you say comedian, you can watch a comedian on stage, but for the part, I'll watch the movies with funny guys in it. I like the Saturday Night Live. All the old things like old school stuff like that. But I like Seinfeld for obvious reasons. He's pretty funny in everything he does. So I don't know. I get a lot of my and Michael Scott, from The Office. Sorry, I keep referencing kind of the same ones, but we all have our go-tos, and those are mine. So
yeah, I don't know. I like a bunch of different comedians. I really like Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. So
right, see, the ones I don't think of the top of my head, but they're very funny. You're right.
I like stand-up comedy stuff sometimes too. Let's see here. What are some good questions?
It depends.
Can you describe the most interesting game cafes you've been to?
Well, yes. The most interesting game cafe is what I consider my local gaming cafe, and it's Zool's. Dang it! I mean, I haven't been there in a long time because it's the one I would go to if I was going to go to them. Mm-hmm. But he made his cafe like the Green Dragon, the Red Dragon, Green Dragon Inn. I actually did a video on it, and I'm really stumbling over it now trying to remember everything. But it's a fantastic place, and not only they had it across the street from them, they had a gas explosion, and it almost wiped out the entire block. Whoa. And almost took out his entire board game cafe. And he took whatever he had left and rebuilt and just made it better. And it's a fabulous place to be. I love that place over there. It's in Buffalo, Washington. And for some reason, my mind at 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night Pacific time is not working well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I haven't been to too many game cafes. I really enjoyed in Las Vegas. There's Meepleville, and there's a really cool game cafe there. And I was really impressed by like all the games they have. And Tim helps with Dice Tower West, the guy who runs it. But he also has a bunch of like retro games there, and all sorts of just different stuff. And it was really cool because they also sell games and of course do like food and all that different stuff. Here in Miami, there's a place called Mac and Chess, and the game selection not super great, but their like macaroni, like fried macaroni balls, are amazing.
Nice. That sounds amazing. I've never liked macaroni until I started, going out to dinner with the Dice Tower on conventions. But and side note, it's called Zulu's Board Game Cafe.
There you go.
So there you go.
Here's the important question. Who is the best Simpsons character, and why is it Hans Moleman?
That's pretty funny. I feel bad for that old guy. But one you gotta give him credit though. He takes the worst punishment in that cartoon and never really dies. He's always there. Bleeding Gums Murphy was pretty good, but he actually, kicked the bucket eventually. No, if I was to have a favorite character, I don't know. It's the whole family dynamic, I used to tell people that I get a lot of my family, ways to run the family from The Simpsons, and they'd laugh. But you go back and look, they always seem to, reconcile at the end and make things right, and we can learn from that. But honestly, probably excellent, Mr. Burns. He's pretty funny.
I'm not sure what this means, but I guess this question's for you, Mike. Are you still helping out at Bob's Corn? I drive by them at least once a week.
Excellent. Okay, so for those, Bob's Corn is a local it's an agutainment place where they have like the corn maze, they have pumpkins. It's just only in the fall, and I go there as a side job after my main job, and just because I love just where I'm having fun with people, and I build fires and whatever they need me to do. But yes, Bob's Corn is a great place. The people the Rickies who own it are fabulous people. So it's a local thing. Sorry, but I'll tell you one thing: if you're local to Seattle area and you haven't been to Bob's Corn, you definitely need to give it a shot.
Do you drive the hayride?
I've been on the hayride, but no, they don't let me drive anything important, and that's probably smart on their part. But I'm surprised they let me start fires though. Weird.
That's awesome. Mike, do you do any solo gaming at all? Do you have any favorites?
My favorite game to play solo is The Mind, because what I'll do is I'll play it in front of a mirror. And you know how hard that is to figure out what you're going to do at the same time that you're doing it? Okay, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I don't really have a solo game.
You can't even figure out what's in your own mind.
I know, and that's a scary thought in itself. I've never really played a game by myself when it comes to a board game. I just think the entertainment value and what I get out of a board game is not just the game itself, but the people I play with. So that's probably why I enjoy playing with other people. Play by yourself, I suppose if I had nothing to do and I had found a board game that was really good, I'd have to talk to Mike, who does the solo board games, and Mike Delisio, and say, hey, what's a good board game for one person? And if he told me, I'd probably give it a shot, but for the most part, I wouldn't just take a chance and read the rules on how to play it. I don't know. I just like people more than the game itself at times, most of the time.
I mean, why play a board game solo when you can just build fidget spinner contraptions,
Thank you. Yes. Come on,
Priorities.
let the mind run free, and this is what you come up with.
Let's see. Huh. Now everybody's saying that the Dice Tower should be on The Simpsons. We were kind of on South Park.
Were you? How was that?
One of the episodes, like, they spoofed Board Game Breakfast. Like, the intro from Board Game Breakfast,
really?
They had, like, a South Park version of Board Game Breakfast, which was hilarious and crazy. This actually happened... I don't know, how long ago was it now? It was a while back now. It was like maybe 6 months ago, something like that. Maybe it wasn't even that long. It feels like a long time. But then, like, the next episode, they mentioned a whole bunch of people from board games. They mentioned Rodney Smith and Tom Vassell and Board Game Geek and Becca Scott and all these people. and we were flipping out in the studio.
Wow.
It was a blast, but yeah, that was crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean that I should go back and try to find that because that's pretty cool.
I could send you links to the episodes, but it is South Park, so it's not super family friendly.
I understand that. Yeah, I mean, but it is what it is. But it'd still be kind of cool to find that one, whatever when they're referencing you guys.
Kabuki Kid says, I hear top 8, and I think Magic tournaments. I know, I feel the same.
Magic. I never got into card games. I'm not a deck builder person. I mean, I can try, which is why I had a hard time playing Marvel Champions. But once I started playing with my friends and they were playing it more, I got, once I learned it, it actually became more fun. But some people have the mind on how to put things together when it comes to deck building. My son's really good at it. I don't play my son because why? If I want to just go lose, I might as well just do something else. So deck builders just don't hit me the same way. Some people love it though. I mean, there are people who just like live for deck builders. So I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely am a huge fan of those games where you get to build the decks and all that stuff.
Yeah. So Roy, when are you guys going to make Dice Tower masks? This is my Seahawk mask my mother-in-law made for me. But you got to have the Dice Tower logo on these things. Now that'd be kind of cool.
We can get you to retheme some for us.
Retheme a face mask. I'll think of it.
Here's another question that's probably very similar to some of the other ones, but which board game makeover were you most proud of?
All of them. No, but most proud? Okay, so the Simpson one, the big Ticket to Ride was probably the most work, and I stuck through it and got it done. That was pretty cool. And anytime you do a makeover, you look back and go, you think about what you could have done better, but you're not going to go back and make it better because, it is what it is. I like that one a lot. I really like the first one I ever did, the Carcassonne one, because I was able to take the exact tiles from Carcassonne and recreate a Simpsons theme on every one of them. The first, I think there's like 64 tiles, something like that. Mm-hmm. So that took a long time because I got to learn GIMP at the time. That was, like I said, my first one. But there's been other ones that I really like too. I'd have to, and I took that Carcassonne one way too far. I made big tiles. I made 6-inch or 6-inch tiles, 4-inch tiles. Then I bought some of those 2-inch tiles from the Lowe's, I think it was, or Home Depot, and I made them on that. It's just like, okay, enough is enough type. But I don't know. I think the Ticket to Ride was probably my favorite one, most likely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dead Squirrel says, I'm just wondering why Mike hasn't designed a dexterity game using those fidget spinners. Who's saying he hasn't?
I've been working on stuff, trying to figure out how to integrate such a cool thing like this to a board game. This is only going to make a board game better, in my opinion, of course. So, and think about all the awesome focusing that you would do with one of those. So I don't know. That's a good question. I'm always thinking about ways of what
Make
can
sure
you
to
do
keep an
to
eye
make
out
it
for the
better
Kickstarter coming soon.
Yeah. I got to figure it out, though. You're right. It's got to be good.
As soon as he figures out the how to get the Simpsons license and fidget spinners into a game, it'll be good. Maybe retheme the fidget spinner into donuts, and you're having to balance the donuts or something. I don't know.
Hey, I'm willing to try everything once when it comes to Simpsons, definitely. But I have a feeling the IP for Simpsons might be a little expensive.
Maybe.
And that's probably why I like fan-made stuff when it comes to Simpsons, because then it doesn't really thing. You're just doing it as a fan and sharing it. So.
Nice. What is the game that got you into the hobby? What is a favorite game when you were little?
Well, let's see. When I was little, I wish I could have a good answer there because we were the typical, Scrabble, Monopoly, but I really liked Mousetrap because I liked all the different mechanisms. That was really probably my favorite game growing up. But the one that really got me in the hobby, which I didn't know that, hey, there's more than these, Milton Bradley games and Hasbro, was I think I played Carcassonne first. That was my friend Ken showed me that game first, and that was pretty cool because I'm like, whoa, this is cool. I didn't know they had other games like this. And then he started, and of course, he was already into it, showing me all these other games, and I'm thinking, wow, that's great. And then I kind of went crazy and started buying, looking on the BGG list, top 1 through whatever, and trying to buy every game. Well, if it's number 1, it's got to be good. If it's number 2, it's got to be good. I learned a valuable lesson about doing that because that's not smart to do. Because just because it's number 1 doesn't mean it's your kind of game to play. And eventually, learned how to pick my games. So,
what do you think drives your taste in games? I know you like very thematic stuff and retheming stuff, but what would you say is your style specifically?
I do like theme as long as it makes sense with the game. There's a lot of it bothers me when there's an abstract game that they are trying to create a theme around it, and to me, it's just an abstract game. Really taste a theme, for the most part. But I definitely like a game that does drip with theme. I'm like, oh, this is great because I like to involve my imagination into it, and it's hard to do that with some games that are very technical and analytical, like cards or dice, But so yeah, for the most part, a theme is a big deal to me. But I also like clever mechanics, something something that we haven't seen. I'm still waiting for something that comes out and goes, oh, they haven't done that before. That's kind of cool. And then when you play it, you actually know if it is cool or not in your taste. But I don't know. That's kind of how I am.
Chat's giving all kinds of different ways you could use fidget spinners in a board game now. Kabuki says maybe you could use a fidget spinner as a random number generator, like a die, or maybe it ends up pointing to something. Someone else says maybe it could be like a timer of sorts. Like you spin it and you get to take your turn as long as it's spinning, and then it has to end when it stops spinning, and then your turn's over.
Yep. And you just got to go, and then there's a lot of good reasons to use a fidget spinner. There's probably a lot of bad reasons too. I'm not gonna, you gotta at least try it to find out. And I like the timer thing in a way because it's like, okay, because it'll help AP go down. I always thought it'd be cool if they could have some kind of a laser on these, so that when you spin it, it spells something. Just like some kind of a laser thingy. But that's down the road probably.
John's going to make us hungry with this question. Do you like to eat while you game? What is your favorite takeout food?
Yes. I mean, I like to eat when I game, don't game. I mean, eating's pretty much, part of life, and it's one of the things that you got to know when to say when. But so whenever we haven't had it's really sad because you think about your gaming group, and when's the last time you actually played with them? In my gaming group, we haven't played in months because of all this COVID stuff going on. But I love anything that is you give me a plate of variety because I like variety, and that is just going to make my day. You got the cookies, the grapes, not. I don't like anything that's gonna get my hands all gross and dirty, where I have to keep wiping them on the cards or the game. So, but yeah, that's my way to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, I do snacks and stuff. And I mean, normally, if I'm having a game day, I'll order pizza and stuff like that.
Ooh, pizza. Can't go wrong with pizza. Yeah, that sounds good.
But I don't know. That's my favorite takeout in general. I really like. I don't know. I like Mexican food. I like sushi. But I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, you're a little bit more advanced in the culinary arts when it comes to eating than I am. I'm good for something in the microwave for all I
know. What was the very first game that you rethemed?
Okay, so the very first one, I kind of mentioned it before, is Carcassonne. And it was funny because, you know why I did this? I rethemed Carcassonne just to get my kids who are younger at the time to play. Because the theme for Carcassonne, I mean, I could play it as an adult and get past the theme, but come on, my kids are like 8, 7, 6, whatever they were. And trying to get them to play a game like that, for me, I had a hard time getting them. But if you put a theme that they can relate to, because they're watching SpongeBob, they're watching Simpsons, they're watching whatever is on TV, they can relate to that. And that's why the main reason why I did that was just to get my kids to play more games. And that was like a good stepping stone into playing other games that they would accept the theme on and things like that. So definitely good memories there.
Are you into video games at all? Any current games that you're playing?
Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but I was there on day one when Pokemon Go came out, and I was there on day 2 when it went out. But I still played forever, and it was really fun. I like Pokemon Go, but it's funny because my friend Ken, which I'll reference again, he got me to play this new GPS RPG game, which I really like, called Orna, O-N-A. It's a you walk around, but it's all about RPG, and it was so fun because you level up just like you're playing the RPG game. So it was more thematic to the board games that I'd rather play. Pokemon Go was great. I even did some rethemes using Pokemon Go, but the Orna RPG just has a lot, and that's what I'm doing now, because in fact that's probably my go-to game on my phone, is just playing that game, because it's an RPG GPS. Wherever I go, I can pull it out and, hey, what's around here? So I like that kind of game.
Nathan says, wait a minute, Roy shaved. No, I was growing an attempt at a beard, and everybody in chat was making fun of me for a month, and I finally shaved it all off.
Oh, why? You're home now. No one cares.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I decided to try hard and not just be lazy and make it happen. So clean up a little bit.
It's interesting because when all this started, a lot of us started working from home. And we were on, for me personally, I was on a routine, get up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm out the door by 4:35, no, whatever. But, you do your routine and you're done. Suddenly you're like sleeping more. And it's like, oh, I can just get up and work. Oh, maybe I should actually shower today, or, do these things that I'm not used to doing because the routine's all different. So exactly, right? So it's just crazy how we have to retrain ourselves to live this different life, and I'm fine with it, but it's interesting.
Oh, this is a crazy question. What is the most money you've ever spent on a game? Not a retheme, but the actual cost of the game.
Okay, so
what's the most expensive?
I had a bad habit that I've overcome, and I really liked Kickstarter when it first, was doing all these board games, and I think the most I spent on one Kickstarter was between $500 or $600 to go all in on something. So that's a lot. Now to buy from a store, your typical $100, $120 thing is probably the most I paid from a store because it's already been out. But Kickstarter it kicked my rear. I know I backed hundreds of Kickstarters and finally slowed that down, got some help, had an intervention, whatever it took. But a lot of money went into Kickstarter when I started doing that, that's for sure.
We're not talking about collectible card games, right? Because if we're talking Magic the Gathering, that was a lot of money. I remember paychecks going and being like, oh, let me go ahead and buy this $10 card and buy a play set. So I'll get 2 of them now, so I'll get $20, and then next paycheck I'll get another $20. And I mean, the amount of money in total that went into Magic the Gathering to make sure I had a deck that could actually win was insane. But the part that broke me is when set rotation happened.
Magic the Gathering is a very expensive game if you want to be competitive. I mean, from what I've heard, I've never really played it much, but I have friends who have fallen to the dark side and played that game, and just they like it, of course, but they spend a lot of money on it. So that can put you.
The crazy thing is every couple years the cards, you can't use them in standard play, which is the main way to play. So like all that money you spent on cards, I mean the value still stays there a little bit, but you can't play with those cards anymore. So that's when I kind of like it broke me, and I switched over to playing board games because when my good decks were gone, I had to re-buy up again, and I'm just like I can't do it.
Yeah, I can see that.
So you're good to have stayed away.
I used to collect baseball cards. I'd go buy a bunch of them thinking one day it's going to be my retirement. Well, unfortunately, it's not. But still, that was the thinking back then, too. So.
Mike, what's the best 80s movie?
Oh, 80s. Wow. I am so bad at this because best 80s movie. I'd have to look at a top 10 list and then I can tell you which one is best. That's the hard part. What's an 80s movie?
We did a board game battle royale that was all different 80s movies. And the one that won was The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, seriously? Huh. That's funny.
But it was up against Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones.
Those are good. See, you have good recall there because those you're right. Those are fantastic movies, and I like Back to the Future quite a bit too.
Yeah, Back to the Future is awesome. The Goonies, so many good ones. Princess Bride.
Thank you, Princess Bride, one of my favorites, right there. Bam.
Bam. What's your favorite abstract game?
Right now I'd have to go back to Azul because my family likes it a lot, and they actually like all three of them. So it's not just like I have to play one. I can play, Pavilions or the Stained Glass or whatever. So those are probably my favorite abstract games. Although they try to put a theme on it, and that's fine. It's kind of themey because of what it is, but the theme doesn't draw me in. It's the gameplay and the company I have playing it. So, and that's also those are good games to teach new people who don't know about good board games.
This sounds like a call out. Why does Mike have 5 different accounts on Board Game Geek?
I have 5 accounts? I only have 1 account. Do I?
I don't know why they're asking why you have 5 accounts on Board Game Geek.
I only log in once a year, but I do have the Board Game Make. No, I can't remember. Maybe I have 2. Maybe I have one because so one thing about when you use social media and you're trying to hey, I'm a Board Game Makeover person, whatever. Then you're trying to figure out, well, should I have a separate thing for that to keep away from that? And then I'm realizing, now, then you make changes and, I have 5 different email accounts because I couldn't figure out, then Twitter doesn't let you have that many characters. Now let's go change everything, But I don't think I have 5 Board Game Geek accounts. If I did, that'd be interesting. If it did, then it's probably someone trying to be like Mike.
Kabuki Kid says she prefers Magic because or vintage Magic because it never rotates out, like Black Lotuses and Moxes. Anyway.
And I've actually heard of that. That's funny.
Yeah, I can't afford that. That's crazy. Apparently, Chris says the Goonies board game is good too.
Seriously. I've never heard of the board game. That'd be fun to play.
Nice.
Goonies was fun.
Well, I guess we're close to wrapping this thing up, but Nathan does say that he's gonna have to bail out. But Mike, we miss you on Board Game Breakfast and Blender, and you always were so genuine of a guy. And the show and this show is more of the same. Stay safe and have a good evening to all. So hey, people miss you out there, Mike.
Thank you, Nathan. I really appreciate that. And honestly, Nathan, I'm really hoping to come back and start doing more. I just like to, let the imagination just run wild sometimes and see what comes out of it, So, but I got to get past what I'm doing now as far as the big move and all that stuff. And once I settle down, I'm hoping to be back. So, but thank you, Nathan. I really appreciate it. And everybody has been here. I really hope you guys are all staying healthy, staying safe. With everything going on, just think health, think safety.
All right, you can let everybody know now how many fidget spinners.
There are 102 on this thing. 102. So that's my go-to. When I just want to stare at something, I will stare at that.
Hey, it's better than solo gaming, right?
Most likely. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Awesome, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us, and thanks so much to Mike for coming on. This has been a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys have fun retheming your own games out there, and hopefully Mike will be back around soon. Hope you have a good move, and see you back here eventually. Bye.
Well, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Roy. Appreciate it.
Peace.